The crack of the bat echoed like a gunshot, but it wasn't mine that connected. It was theirs, sending the ball sailing over the outfield wall for the walk-off homer that crushed our dreams. I stood frozen on the pitcher's mound, the sting of defeat burning hotter than the California sun, my glove heavy with the ghost of what could have been. "You're done, Alex. Pack your shit and get out. A loser like you ain't welcome in this house anymore." Mom's voice sliced through the post-game chaos, her eyes cold as the Pacific fog rolling in from the bay. I can still feel the grit of the infield dirt under my cleats, the way the Oakland Coliseum's lights buzzed like angry hornets overhead. It was the CIF Northern California Championship, Lincoln High versus the Berkeley Bears, and the stands were a sea of green and gold, my classmates' cheers turning to groans as the ball cleared the fence. I dominated for 6 innings, 19 Ks, no walks, the Bears' bats silenced like they'd been duct-taped. Mom was up there in the bleachers, her scrubs swapped for a Lions hoodie she'd sewn my number 23 on the back of, screaming my name like it was a prayer. Jaden, at short, had gunned down 2 runners at home, his throws laser-accurate, but that 9th-inning error, a bobble on a routine grounder, opened the door. Then my slider betrayed me, hanging fat over the plate for their cleanup hitter to feast on. The ump's call, home run, landed like a gut punch. Teammates mobbed the infield in stunned silence, coaches barking futile protests. I yanked off my cap, raking fingers through my sweat-matted hair, tasting bile. This was it, the game that was supposed to change everything. Scouts from Stanford, the Giants' farm system, dotted the crowd like vultures in polo shirts, notebooks poised. Mom had mortgaged her future on this, skipped shifts, borrowed from her church sisters, all for my shot at glory. And I'd blown it. The locker room was a tomb after the handshakes. Steam from the showers mixed with the tang of Benghazi and crushed dreams. Guys stripping down in mechanical silence. Jaden dropped onto the bench next to me, his jersey clinging to his muscled frame, dark skin glistening. He was the heart of the team, the guy who could turn a double play into poetry, his quick feet and quicker wit keeping us loose. But to me, he was more, the first person I ever wanted to kiss, the reason I stayed late for extra infield, stealing glances when he stretched for throws. We'd been inseparable since Pee-wee, sharing secrets under the covers during sleepovers, his breath warm on my neck as we whispered about superheroes and stupid crushes on girls we both knew weren't it. I never said the words, but they hung between us like unsaid change-ups. "Alex, man, that was epic till the end," he said, voice low, bumping his knee against mine. His touch sent that familiar jolt, electric and terrifying. "You owned him. Bears just got a gift." I shrugged, peeling off my undershirt, avoiding his eyes. "Gift? That's me, the charity case. Coach is gonna bench me for regionals, if there are any left." My voice cracked, and I hated it, the vulnerability creeping in like fog. Jaden leaned closer, his scent, citrus body wash and grass, filling the space. "Hey, we're in this. You and me, like always. We'll grind extra tomorrow." His hand landed on my shoulder, squeezing, and for a second, I leaned into it, imagining more. But the door banged open and reality crashed in. Mom stormed the locker room like she owned it, ignoring the half-dressed boys scattering like pigeons. Her face was thunder, lips pressed thin, the hoodie sleeves pushed up like she was ready to fight the world. "Alexander Torres, outside. Now." Jaden shot me a worried look, but I followed her out into the humid night, the parking lot a maze of minivans and idling buses. Rain started then, fat drops splattering the asphalt, turning the world blurry. "Mom, it was one bad pitch. One," she snapped, whirling on me. "One that cost the championship. I gave up everything. Nights, money, my health. For you to choke? Those scouts? Gone. Your future? Flushed." Her voice rose, drawing stares from lingering parents. "It's not over," I pleaded, rain soaking my hair. "Community college, walk-ons? I can still." But she cut me off, eyes narrowing as Jaden emerged from the gym, duffel slung over his shoulder, heading our way. He waved awkwardly, but Mom's gaze sharpened, piecing together fragments she'd ignored for years. The late practices, the sleepovers, the way Jaden's name lit up my phone. And that magazine I'd hidden, the one with stories of boys like me finding love in shadows. "Don't," she hissed, stepping between us as Jaden approached. "I know what this is. You two, it's unnatural, sinful. And now this loss? God's telling me to cut it out before it destroys you." Jaden froze, color draining from his face. "Mrs. Torres, we're just friends. Alex is the best. Get away from my son," she barked, voice echoing off the chain-link fence. "I won't have you leading him astray." I grabbed her arm, heart hammering. "Mom, stop. Jaden's got nothing to do with." But the dam broke. I found it, Alex, the magazine, the pictures of men. The texts. "Miss you already. Hearts. You're gay. And you threw it all away tonight. No, no more. Go to Jaden's or wherever. But you're not coming home. Not till you straighten up and out." The words landed like foul tips, bruising deep. Jaden's eyes met mine, wide with horror and something softer. "Regret? Pity?" He muttered. "Call me. Okay? I'll pick you up." Before backing away, rain blurring his silhouette, Mom drove home in silence, Aretha Franklin crooning "Respect" on the radio. Ironic as hell. Our apartment in Fruitvale was a time capsule of hope. Walls papered with my trophies, kitchen calendar marked with scout visits. I showered quick, the hot water scalding away dirt but not shame, then packed. Jeans, tees, my glove, the essentials. Mom stood in the doorway, arms crossed, as I zipped the duffel. "You're making a mistake," I said, voice small. "No, Mijo. You're the mistake I can't fix." She turned away, and I left, key jingling in my pocket like a death knell. The streets welcomed me with open arms and cold rain. I texted Jaden, but his reply was delayed. "Parents home. Can't tonight. Shelter on International?" So I walked, blocks blurring, past lit windows where families laughed over dinner. The Oakland Youth Crisis Center was a squat brick building, fluorescent lights harsh against the night. Check-in was a blur, intake form, bunk assignment, a thin blanket smelling of bleach. That first night, staring at water-stained ceiling, the sobs came. For the game, for Mom, for Jaden's retreating back. Baseball had been my world, but now it was all I had left. By dawn, resolve hardened. I'd pitch my way out. No looking back. School dragged the next week. Whispers following me like shadows. Torres tanked it. Mom kicked him out. Jaden avoided the halls, our lockers side by side but worlds apart. Practice was torture. Coach paired me with backups, my fastball wild with grief. Nights at the shelter blurred. Group circles where kids shared stories of abuse, addiction, the streets claiming more than games. I kept my head down, job hunting between classes. Busboy at a Telegraph Avenue cafe, $8 an hour plus tips. Graduation was a ghost event, no cap toss with friends, just diploma in hand and a one-way Greyhound ticket to Sacramento. Delta College, $46 a unit, baseball walk-on tryouts in fall. Mom left one voicemail. "If you need anything, pray." I deleted it, boarding the bus as Oakland's skyline shrank. The Bay Bridge a silver thread to the past. Sacramento greeted me with delta breezes and flat fields. A college town pulsing with second chances. Dorms were lottery win. A shared room with a surfer kid from Santa Cruz who snored like waves. Tryouts were brutal. 90 guys for 12 spots, arms firing in the August heat. I made the cut, reliever slot, my slider still nasty. The team was eclectic. Latino hot corner from the Valley, black outfielder from Compton, white boys from nowhere towns. Tyler Hayes caught my eye day one. Squatting behind the plate, his blue eyes locked on my release, mitt popping like applause. "Nasty heat, Torres," he drawled, Modesto accent thick as honey. Blonde hair tousled under his helmet, build solid from farm work. Baling hay, he later said. After over Gatorade, he clapped my back. "Stick around. We need that arm." Weeks turned to rhythm. Practices at dawn, classes in poli-sci and kinesiology, nights studying under desk lamps. Tyler and I bonded over post-workout burgers at In-N-Out, His stories of growing up queer in conservative Modesto. First kiss at a county fair, coming out at 16 to parents who hugged him tighter. "It's not the end, Alex," he said one night, stars above the practice field. "It's the pitch that sets up the strikeout." His hand brushed mine then, deliberate, and I didn't pull away. The kiss came later, in his truck after a win, tentative then fierce, tasting of animal-style fries and freedom. Tyler was my first, gentle, affirming, teaching me love wasn't a sin but a steal. We navigated team dynamics, hands held under tables, stolen moments in the equipment shed. My pitching sharpened, his framing flawless. Delta whispers turned to cheers. Torres and Hayes, unbeatable. But cracks formed. Mom's silence was a weight. Jaden's occasional like on my game picks a pinch. Tyler sensed it, pulling me close after games. "You're building something real here. Don't let ghosts swing for you." Sophomore year, nationals loomed. A tournament in Arizona, our ticket to scouts. We trained like fiends, weights clanging, laps in the pool. Tyler's family visited. Dad in a John Deere cap, Mom with pies, welcoming me like kin. It stung, the normalcy I'd lost. But Tyler's kiss later erased it. "You're family to me." The betrayal hit like a rain delay, unexpected and soaking. Game 5 of regionals, we'd clinched, champagne fizzing in plastic cups. I overheard Tyler on the phone in the hotel lobby. Voice low, "Coach, Alex is gold. But the gay thing. Teams ask, maybe ease up on the PDA till after nationals? For his shot." My blood froze. PDA? We were discreet, high fives, bro hugs. But there he was, selling me out for his shot. As if my queerness was a flaw to fix. I stormed his room, door slamming. "You think I'm a liability? After I told you everything." Tyler paled, reaching for me. "Babe, it's not coaches paranoid. Sponsors, the old guard. I was protecting us." "Us or you?" I spat, grabbing my bag. "I'm done being toned down." The fight bled into nationals. Our battery faltered, past balls, wild pitches. Semis? 9th inning. Tyler's glove slipped on a curve, runner scoring the winner. Deja vu's cruel twin. I left without goodbye, signing with Reno Aces days later. High desert calling like exile. Reno was raw. Casinos blinking against mountains. Team of hard luck heroes. Marcus Lee slid into third base and my life, his swing compact, smile wide. "Torres? Heard you got robbed in Cali. Let's rob some wins here." Over poker nights and road trips, he drew me out, the shelter cold, Tyler's knife twist. Marcus listened, no judgment, sharing his own. LA kid, parents divorce over his coming out, baseball his rebound. Love grew slow like a well-hit double, reliable building speed. Fried rice in our kitchen, hikes in the Sierras, his head on my chest during rainouts. Minors ground on, promotions to AA, slumps where ERA ballooned. But Marcus was constant. "Rise, Alex. Always rise." Call up to Arizona came spring training 24. Chase Field's roof open to sun. First MLB strikeout? Electric. Marcus in the stands, ring on his finger by summer. Quiet ceremony in Scottsdale, just us and the team. But family tugged. Mom's letter arrived post-All-Star break. Shaky script, lung cancer diagnosis, radiation bills stacking. Didn't want to burden, but you're shining. If Marcus found me crumpled on the couch. Go. Heal it or close it, but go. Oakland run was ghosts and grace. Mom at the door, thinner, but hug came this time, fierce, apologetic. I was wrong, Mijo. Scared. Forgive. Words flowed over coffee, her regrets, church evolution, my triumphs. I wired funds, lawyers for sister's visa, a chef for meals. No parade. Just provision, quiet as a knuckleball. Opening day 26. Mom in suite with Marcus, Jaden waving from press box. Tyler? A scout's nod. Forgiven in distance. Baseball cycles, highs, lows, but love and family? They catch you clean. In America's grand game, we all get our at-bat. Mine? A full count, fouled off, then ripped for extra bases. The high desert air of Reno had a bite to it, dry and sharp. like the edge of a fastball cutting through a hitter's swing. I'd arrived in late August, duffel bag slung over my shoulder. The Reno Aces clubhouse, a cavern of metal lockers and the faint scent of liniment and ambition. AAA was the purgatory of baseball, close enough to the majors to taste the dream, far enough to feel the grind in your bones. The team was a United Nations of has-beens and hopefuls. A Cuban closer with a 98 mph heater, a Japanese infielder who spoke baseball in haiku, and me, the 22-year-old lefty from Oakland with a slider that could buckle knees and a heart still raw from Tyler's knife. Orientation was a blur of handshakes and hazing. Vets making rookies fetch Gatorade. Recount war stories from Albuquerque road trips. Marcus Lee caught my eye during batting practice. His swing a whip crack that sent liners screaming into the gap. He was 24, built like a welterweight. Lean muscle from years in LA rec leagues before a scout plucked him from obscurity. Tattoos peeked from his sleeve. A dragon coiling around a baseball bat, kanji for persevere on his wrist. After BP, he jogged over, glove tucked under his arm, sweat beading on his forehead like morning dew. Torres, right? Heard about your Delta run. That Nationals loss, tough break. Sliders still filthy. I nodded, wiping my brow with my sleeve. The Nevada sun merciless even in shade. Yeah, hangs when I overthink. You Lee? Third base cannon from SoCal. He grinned, teeth white against his tan skin, extending a hand that swallowed mine. The one and only. Grab a beer after? Vets buy for new blood. That beer turned into many. Dive bar off Virginia Street. Neon signs buzzing. Jukebox spinning Springsteen and Selena. Marcus didn't pry, but he listened when I let slip fragments. The championship choke. Mom's door slamming. Tyler's whispered compromise. Sounds like you got curveballed, he said, clinking bottles. But here's the thing, baseball's full of 'em. You adjust your stance, swing level. Life's the same. His philosophy stuck, simple as that. Over weeks, road trips to Las Vegas and Tacoma became our classroom. Bus rides, he'd slide into the seat beside me, sharing AirPods for podcasts on pitching mechanics or K-dramas that made him laugh. Deep, rumbling sounds that eased the knot in my chest. He talked about LA, Koreatown nights with his Yama's bulgogi, the sting of his Appa's disappointment when he came out at 17, the rec league homer that earned a tryout. They thought I'd wash out, too small, too soft, but I hit .320 last year in AA. Soft? Nah, resilient. Resilient. The word echoed as we bunked in Reno's off-season. My lease a sublet hole in the wall. His a shared house with 2 pitchers. He invited me over for game nights, mahjong with his roommate's girlfriend, bad movies on a projected screen. One night, after a rainout, we cooked, him chopping garlic with precision, me stirring rice, the kitchen filling with sizzle and spice. Try this, he said, feeding me a bite from his chopsticks, eyes locking as flavors burst, sweet, tangy, alive. The kiss happened naturally like a well-timed hit and run. We were on his balcony, city lights twinkling below, a bottle of soju half empty between us. Conversation lulled to silence as comfortable as old gloves. And when he leaned in, lips brushing mine tentative, I met him halfway. Marcus tasted like rice wine and possibility, his hands framing my face gentle, then urgent. We stumbled inside, clothes shedding like old habits, bodies mapping new territory. Slow explorations, whispers of okay, and yes, building to a crescendo that left us breathless, tangled in sheets. Love with Marcus was different from Tyler's flash, steady grounders, not fly balls to the warning track. He was there for the mundane, rubbing my shoulder after a bad outing, where I walked the bases loaded in Tacoma, the crowd's boos ringing in my ears. Tomorrow's pitch, he'd murmur, fingers kneading knots. You're built for this. The Aces season was a roller coaster. Hot streaks where we'd sweep Tacoma. Cold snaps losing to Albuquerque in extra innings. My ERA hovered at 3.20, scouts noting my poise under pressure. Marcus hit .280, his glove gold at third, turning double plays that saved my bacon more than once. Off-field, we carved a life. Hikes in the Tahoe Basin, snowshoeing when winter hit, his hand in mine against the chill. He met my calls home, sporadic check-ins with Mom, her voice softening over time. How's the arm? Eating right? One call shattered the peace. December, postseason awards banquet. Marcus up for Gold Glove. My phone buzzed mid-toast. Unknown number. Oakland area code. Alex? This is Rosa, your Tia. Your mom's sick. Bad. Pneumonia on top of something the doctors found. Lungs. She won't ask. But the bills. The room spun, clinking glasses distant. Marcus pulled me aside, hand on my back. Breathe. What do you need? I flew out next morning, Reno's lights fading behind. Oakland International, the baggage claim conveyor a loop of regret. Tia Rosa met me, her embrace tight, eyes red. She pushed too hard, Mijo. Diner shifts worry over you. Now this. Mom's apartment was dim, curtains drawn against winter gray. She lay in bed, oxygen mask fogging, but pulled it off when I entered, her smile frail. Alex, you didn't have to. Yes, I did. I sat, taking her hand, bones delicate under skin. We talked halting, her diagnosis, stage 2 lung cancer from years of secondhand diner smoke, no insurance buffer. I prayed, she said, voice raspy, for strength, for you. Guilt twisted like a screwball. Mom, the series money's coming. I'll cover treatments, everything. She squeezed my hand. Not money, Mijo. Forgiveness. I was wrong. Kicking you out, the words. Church said one thing, heart another. Jaden came by last month, told me about your call-up. Said you're happy. That's all. Jaden. The name stung sweet. I nodded, throat tight. Stayed a week. Hospital runs. Cooking arroz con pollo from her recipes. Memories surfacing like old tapes. Dad's abandonment. Her resolve to raise a champion. You are one, I told her, tucking blankets. Always were. Back in Reno, Marcus enveloped me, no questions, just space to process. Spring training 25 was redemption. My velocity up, his bat on fire. Called up mid-May, both of us to Phoenix, D-backs, Chase Field's retractable roof a cathedral. First game, bottom of the 8th, I entered with runners on, heart pounding. Marcus at third, flashing a thumbs up. Slider, fastball, change, 3 pitches, 3 outs. Dugout explosion. His hug fierce. That's my pitcher. The season built to crescendo, wild card, division series, pennant. World Series against the Dodgers, LA's glamour versus our grit. Game 3 in Chavez Ravine, palm trees swaying. Marcus's homer in the 5th, the moonshot. But Game 7 back home, tension thick as humidity. Bottom 9th, 3-2 D-backs, bases loaded, 2 outs, their star at bat. Marcus whispered from on deck. Bury it low. I did. The pitch dove, bat slashed air, strike 3. The park erupted, confetti raining, teammates piling on. Marcus reached me first, kiss salty with sweat. Ring slipped on later that night in a suite overlooking the valley. Off-season, Mom's treatments worked, remission whispers. I flew her to Arizona, sweet for spring games. Marcus charming her with bad jokes. He's a keeper, she said, patting my cheek. But betrayal's echo lingered. Tyler emailed, congrats on the ring. Scouting in Phoenix next week. Coffee? Clear the air. I met him at a coffee shop off Mill Avenue, palm fronds rustling. He looked older, lines around eyes, scout badge clipped to his polo. I was wrong, Alex. Scared kid, chasing the game over the guy. You deserved better. Words hung, then release. I forgive you, but I'm good now. He nodded, standing. Yeah, you are. Life's lineup shifted, charity foundations for queer youth in sports, Mom volunteering at Oakland clinics, Jaden at my wedding, small affair in Scottsdale with Saguaro Sentinels. Baseball's uncertain, trades, injuries, but with Marcus's hand in mine, Mom's pride in her voice, I pitched forward. Success isn't the win alone. It's feeding the ones who doubted, turning losses to lessons. Love the ultimate save. The champagne from the World Series still fizzed in my veins months later, but the off-season brought its own rhythm. A slower swing, Time to breathe between at-bats. Marcus and I settled into our Scottsdale bungalow. Terracotta tiles cool underfoot. The pool a blue mirror reflecting Arizona's relentless sun. He'd taken a coaching gig with the D-backs rookie league. His eye for hitters already legendary. While I threw bullpens in the backyard, the pop of the mitt echoing off stucco walls. Mornings were coffee on the patio, his head on my shoulder as we scrolled box scores. Nights, grilling carne asada, his laughter filling the air when I botched the salsa. Mom's visits became ritual. Flights from Oakland every other month, her health a cautious uptick. Remission held, chemo scars fading to stories she told with wry humor. Doctor said I'm tougher than I look. Like my son. She'd watch my starts on TV, calling post-game with analysis sharper than announcers. That curve was lazy, Mijo. Give it more break next time. Marcus doted, teaching her poker, her competitive streak emerging like a rookie phenom. This one's a gem, she'd whisper when he wasn't listening, squeezing my hand. But under the bliss, fissures ran. Jaden's wedding invite arrived in April. A backyard affair in the Oakland Hills. His fiancée a software engineer with a smile like sunshine. Missed you at the altar, bro. The note read. Be my best man? Marcus encouraged it. Go. Tie the loose ends. The flight stirred ghosts. Landing at OAK, the bay's salt air hit like memory. Jaden met me at baggage, hug bone-crushing, his suit rumpled. Man, MLB life suits you. That series pitch? Legendary. Over beers at a Piedmont dive, stories flowed. His job in tech sales, the proposal on the Golden Gate, the what-ifs of our high school days. I knew Alex, he said, eyes earnest. About you. About me, too. Scared shitless back then. Mom's church, my dad's expectations. But seeing you rise made me come out last year. The admission landed soft, no sting. I'm happy for you, I said, clinking bottles. Really? The wedding was joy distilled. Under string lights, vows exchanged as fog rolled in. Jaden's eyes on his bride like she was the only base worth stealing. Best man toast. I kept it light. Stories of little league pranks. Our first home run derby. But laced with truth. Jaden taught me brotherhood's forever. No matter the plays called. Later, on the dance floor, he pulled me aside. Thanks for being here. And for forgiving what I couldn't say. Oakland tugged harder post-wedding. A call from Tia Rosa. Mom's scan showed a spot, probably nothing, but follow-up needed. I rerouted to Fruitvale, the apartment now brighter with plants from her hospital volunteer group. Mom waved off worry, but her cough betrayed her. Just a cold. Focus on your season. Season can wait, I said, booking specialists. Marcus flew in, his presence a bomb. Cooking for the family. Charming Tia with tales of Korean barbecue spots. Over dinner, Mom opened up more. Her own youth, a crush on a girl in nursing school, buried under Catholic guilt and Dad's charm. I see it now, in you, in Marcus. Love's love. Wish I'd trusted sooner. The spot was benign. A shadow, not storm, but it shifted something. I started a foundation. Torres League? Scholarships for LGBTQ plus youth in sports. Safe spaces from Fruitvale to Phoenix. First event, Oakland Field Day. Jaden coached a station. Mom cut the ribbon, her smile wide. Feeding dreams, she said, echoing my series save. Spring training 27 ramped intensity, new skipper, youth infusion, my role as closer locked. Marcus scouted from the sidelines, his insights gold. Hitters are sitting slider. Mix in the cutter. Velocity held at 94. Command surgical. Opening series in San Diego, save in the 10th. 1-2-3, crowds roar a drug. But conflict brewed in the clubhouse. Rookie phenom, Ethan Grant, a lanky righty from Texas with a triple-digit fastball, idolized me. Torres, teach me that slide. But whispers followed. Conservative family, Fox News stickers on his locker. One night, after a loss to the Padres, he cornered me in the trainer's room, ice pack steaming. Coach says you're, with Lee. That true? The question hung, loaded. I met his eyes steady. Yeah. And? He shifted, cheeks flushing. Just. Dad says it's a distraction. But you pitch like a god. How? Vulnerability cracked his armor. Over post-game tacos, I shared the kick-out, Tyler's doubt, Marcus's anchor. It's not distraction. It's fuel. Own who you are, Ethan. The game's big enough. He nodded, filing away. Weeks later, Pride Night at Chase Field, rainbow sleeves on jerseys. He marched in the pregame parade, arm around a teammate. Thanks, Alex, for the pitch and the real talk. Success snowballed, all-star nod, Cy Young buzz. Marcus proposed mid-season on the mound during a rain delay. Ring in a baseball dropped from the stands by drone. Full count, he yelled. Yes. Wedding was July, Scottsdale heatwave. Guests from Reno to Oakland. Mom walked me down the aisle. My champion. Jaden toasting with tears. Tyler sending flowers. Wishing you extra innings. But climax loomed. August. Mom's cough returned. Scans dire. Metastasis, stage 4. Time's short, the doc said. I shuttled between Phoenix and Oakland. Pitches erratic, ERA climbing. Marcus held the line. Pitch for her. Win for us. Final series, Dodgers again, Chase Field electric. Clinched division, but my head was fog. Mom's hospital bed, her hand weak in mine. Game 162, save situation, bases juiced. Marcus texted from the hotel. She's watching. Breathe. The batter fouled back 3, then my slider dove whiff. Saved division crown but hollow. Flew to Oakland that night. Mom awake. TV muted on highlights. Saw it, Mijo. Perfect. She passed 2 weeks later, September dawn. Hand in mine, Marcus at my side. Funeral was Fruitvale full, church packed. Stories of her kindness, diner shifts for strangers. I spoke last. Mom taught me to swing for fences. Even when I struck out, she believed. Now, I feed her legacy. Love, without limits. Grief's a long season, but we played through. Ethan's call up, Jaden's kid on the way, foundation growing. Baseball's peaks and valleys, but with Marcus's curve in my life, every loss built to this. A grand slam of grace. Fall ball in the Arizona Instructional League was a grind of prospects and rehabbers, the fields baking under October sun. But it was therapy, routine amid chaos. Mom's memorial garden in Fruitvale bloomed with marigolds. Her Bible open to Psalms on the mantle, a quiet anchor. Marcus and I leaned into it. Weekend drives to the coast, his hand on my thigh as Highway 1 wound. Waves crashing like applause. She's proud, he'd say, kissing salt from my lips. Look at you, carrying the torch. The off-season brought decisions. Contract extension with the D-backs, 3 years, $18 million. Numbers that blurred, but enough to expand the foundation. Torres League chapters in LA, Sacramento, even Modesto. Tyler's turf now, his texts turning to collaborations. Let me scout talent for you. Make good. I accepted, coffee meetings evolving to mentorship. You were right to walk, he said one afternoon, palm trees shading a Mesa cafe. I was swinging for singles. You? Clearing walls. Winter passed in planning. Wedding vows renewed in a small ceremony for friends missed the first time. Jaden's daughter cooing in a tiny Lions jersey. Ethan's rookie year exploded. 15 wins, Rookie of the Year, his coming out op-ed in the Athletic crediting, a closer who showed me the way. Pride swelled, humanistic ripple. One pitch changing trajectories. Spring 28, Cactus League buzzed, new blood. My closer's chair unchallenged. But a trade rumor swirled. Yankees sniffing, offering prospects for me and Marcus. Skipper pulled me aside. Your call, Torres. But this team's family. Marcus and I talked it through, poolside at dusk. Stay, he said, fingers tracing my tattoo. A slider's arc on my forearm. Build here. Roots. We stayed. Opening day, Chase Field packed. Rainbow flags waving for our home opener theme. Save in the 9th. 98 miles per hour heat. Slider for the whiff. Fireworks bursting. Mom's face flashed on the Jumbotron tribute. For Elena Torres, Heart of the Diamond. Season unfolded epic. 50 saves. Sub-2 ERA. Marcus coaching third with fire. Midsummer slump hit. arm twinge, velocity dip, but therapy and Tyler's visits steadied. Visualize the release. Like forgiving, let go. All-star break, Barbados getaway. Beaches white as chalk lines, his body against mine in turquoise waves. Forever's our full count, he murmured, ring glinting. Pennant push intensified, Dodgers rivalry reignited. NLCS, Game 6, LA, our backs against the wall. Bottom 8th, tie game, I enter 3 batters, 3 Ks, Marcus's fist pump from the rail. 9th, we score, I close it, pennant waving. World Series, Bronx, October chill biting. Game 1 loss, but Game 4 in Phoenix, must win. Bases loaded, 9th, their captain at bat. Flashback. Mom's eviction rain, Tyler's doubt, Marcus's yes. I wind, deliver, the cutter slices, bat shatters, grounder to Marcus, 6-4-3 double play. Save, series tied. Game 7, Yankee Stadium ghosts howling. 2-1 D-backs, 9th, 2 on, 1 out. Heart thuds like drums. Slider low, foul. Fastball up, miss. Change away, whiff. Runner caught stealing, Marcus's throw a bullet. Final out. Pop fly to shallow left, swallowed clean. The dog pile rings, parade down Central Avenue, convertibles, confetti, Marcus's kiss amid cheers. Post-champagne, quiet moment. Mom's garden via video, Tia Rosa toasting, Jaden's family cheering. Foundation gala raised millions, shelters, fields, stories like mine multiplied. Years blur. Retire at 35, hall whisper, coaching with Marcus, kids of our own via surrogacy. Twins swinging plastic bats in the yard. Mom's legacy? In every queer kid who steps to the plate, unafraid. Life's no perfect game, errors, rainouts, ejections. But in America's vast field, with love's glove waiting, we catch the curve and feed the feast, from loss to legacy, one pitch at a time.